All right, let's dive into something a little controversial today, something that might just flip your whole idea of data on its head. What if I told you that all those beautiful, super expensive dashboards your company obsesses over, what if they're actually the very thing holding you back? What if visualization isn't the answer, but the enemy of getting things done?
So this is the big idea we're going to unpack. It sounds pretty wild, doesn't it? Zero visualization. But think about it. The argument is that a truly perfect, optimized system shouldn't need a human babysitting it, staring at charts. It should just work. Let's dig into what that actually means. So here's how we're going to break this all down. First, we'll talk about the big problem with dashboards, what we call the read-only trap, and you'll be shocked by the high cost of it. Then we'll explore a totally new way to think about data. And finally, we'll get our hands dirty with some real practical steps to get you into this post-dashboard era.
Okay, let's start with the root of the problem, the read-only trap. The best way to think about this is that your dashboard is a one-way street. It shouts information at you, but it gives you absolutely no way to act on it right then and there. You see, a dashboard isn't really a tool for control. We call it an administrative artifact. And here's the kicker. That fancy term just means it's a crutch. It's proof that your underlying system just isn't smart enough to clean up its own misses. It's a symptom of a deeper problem. We all fall for this trap. It's called the control fallacy. We think just because we can see a problem, we're somehow in control of it. But let me ask you this. Does staring really hard at your car's speedometer make the car go faster or slower? Of course not. The speedometer just tells you what's happening. The gas pedal and the brake are what let you do something about it. Most dashboards are just very, very expensive speedometers. And this right here shows you the real-world damage. Just look at this timeline. A critical metric goes red on a Tuesday, but a manager doesn't even get around to looking at the dashboard until Friday. They don't have a meeting about it until the next Monday. And a decision, an actual action, isn't made until Wednesday. That's insane. Your time to action isn't measured in minutes, it's measured in days, almost a full week. The dashboard shows you a fire in real time that you don't put out until next week.
So what's the bottom line here? What does all this delay and inefficiency actually cost us? Because this isn't just some philosophical debate. This culture of data voyeurism, just passively looking at the numbers, it has a real hard dollar amount attached to it.
So let's put some numbers to this. Based on our experience, if you actually add up the salary costs for just one executive dashboard, the analysts who build and maintain it, the executives who spend hours talking about it in meetings, you get to a number that is just staggering. We're talking about $76,000 a month. That's the cost for humans to just look at some chart. Now, let's flip that. What's the bare minimum cost to do what that dashboard actually does? Its main job is just checking if a number went up or down. You could have an automated script do that 24/7 for about $50 a month. 50. You see where this is going, right? That means we are paying a premium of over 1,500 times just for the privilege of having humans do a very simple robot's job. When you see it like that, the waste is just mind-blowing. It's a massive flaw in how we operate. Okay, enough doom and gloom. What's the fix? How do we get out of this trap? Well, the solution requires a total shift in our mindset, from just passively watching to taking automated action. It's all about building a thermostat, not another weather report. This is the perfect analogy, really. Your dashboard is a weather report. It tells you, hey, it's raining, but you still have to get up, find a raincoat, and decide what to do. A thermostat is different. It senses it's getting cold and automatically turns on the heat. It doesn't ask for permission, it closes the loop. That's what our business systems need to start doing. The goal here is to create right-enabled interfaces. It's a game changer. Instead of being a gallery of charts, it's a control system. Imagine this. Instead of seeing a warning that says inventory low, you see that same warning, but right next to it is a big button that says reorder 500 units. With one click, you've collapsed that time to action from a week down to a few seconds. So you might be thinking, okay, if the system is doing all this stuff automatically, what's left for me to do? Well, this is the best part. Your role doesn't disappear. It gets a massive upgrade. You stop being a human router for information and become something way more valuable, a system architect, an auditor. Just look at the difference. The old role is pretty low-value work, right? You look at a chart, try to figure out what it means, and then forward an email. The new role? This is where it gets interesting. You're the one defining the rules. You authorize the automated agents to act. And then you review the results to make the whole system even smarter. You're not a cog in the machine anymore. You're the designer of the machine.
All right, I know this all sounds good in theory, but the big question is, how do you actually start doing this? Where do you even begin? So let's get super practical. Here is a step-by-step guide to start killing your dashboards and building a smarter future.
You can start with something called the scream test. And yeah, it's as mischievous as it sounds. You go to a dashboard, you pick a widget, and you quietly remove it. Then you just wait. If nobody says anything, if nobody screams within a week, it means no one was actually using it. It was just decoration, so you can delete it forever. But if they do scream, awesome. That means it's critically important, and it should be the very first thing you automate. And here's a more systematic way to do it. For every single widget on that screen, you go to the owner and you ask them one simple question. If this number changes, what do you physically do? If their answer is, well, nothing, then you know what to do. Delete it. It's a vanity metric. If they say, I send an email to Bob, great. Automate that email. And if they say, I have to go into another system and execute a transaction, perfect. That's your cue to build an automated trigger or a one-click resolve button. So when you boil this all down, you get to this one simple truth. The dashboard as we know it, it's a relic. It was a bridge from a time when computers were good at counting, but not at reasoning. Now that they can reason, the dashboard is basically a zombie. It's dead, it just hasn't stopped blinking yet. And that really leaves us all with one final question to take back to our teams. Are you and your organization spending all your time, money, and energy building a better, shinier rearview mirror? Or are you getting your hands dirty and actually building the engine of the future? Something to think about. Thanks for joining me.